as the recording process got, towards the end and we had most of our songs finished, we were starting to debate whether or not to have an instrumental on the recording. And we ultimately decided that that was something that we should have, because we always have had that on our records. And it's an important part of our sound. Definitely to feature the horn section and to kind of flex the muscles for the rhythm section a little bit too. It's just a great way to feature our band, because not a lot of bands out there have what we have in terms of instrumentation, and so why not exploit that a little bit? So Don't Destroy the Funk, it's actually important in a lot of ways, both just in terms of the direction of the song, but also it kind of forged a new way that Al and I can collaborate together. So more on that in a second. But really, the genesis of that song came from this riff Al would always play when we sound checked, and he would use this, I think, just as a way so that whoever the engineer was could hear all the different ranges of the horn, way up high to way down low. He basically plays the entire range of the saxophone on that little riff, and that's the riff you hear at the beginning of the song. So every time he used to play that, I would always, we got to make a song out of that. We got to do something with that. I always get excited when I heard it. So that was the first thing I thought of for an instrumental, was basing the tune at least around that riff. So he sent me that riff, and I kind of started coming up with ideas for grooves and maybe some sections. But what really is great about this song is, I don't live in Madison anymore, where the band started, and most of the band is still there, and obviously Al and I collaborate on the music, so we decided to try writing that song via Skype, just online, me at my computer, him at his computer, and it ended up working great, because the way we write normally, I'm at the keyboard with some synth sounds on the computer on Pro Tools just for demos, and we just start getting ideas going back and forth. And since I play piano, I can get these things translated quicker than maybe he could, just because he's not a keyboard player. So that's how we write, just bouncing ideas back, and I'll play stuff in, and then we'll just keep going that way. So we were doing that essentially in different cities, and it was just as if we were in the same room. It was really, really great to know we can do that. It got us excited about future projects and things like that. So we basically came up with a song, all the rhythm section stuff, and then we just started making horn parts up, and we did this a lot with this record for the horn parts. We would come up with the sections, and then he'd basically have an alto sax, tenor sax, and we would play everything into Pro Tools. He'd play the parts that we came up with, and then send me an audio file of what we did, and then I would write out the actual charts for the horn players and for the rhythm section, so they, for their music to read. So this tune is a great stepping stone for that. Because it showed that him and I can work together in different cities and be more productive than we used to be. And this song is really the genesis for that. And it's just a real hard grooving, real melodic horn lines and real thumping bass on the bridge. And I think it's a great representation of, where we are now.